Hi everyone. So it was since this video clip that I uploaded in English, and now in this video clip I will be making a video clip series which will be talking about my robotic experience. So before getting into the main topic, I would like to tell you guys about some of my robotic competition that I have participated before. So these are the competitions: WRO, World Robot Olympiad, FLL First Lego League, and RoboCup, and last but not least, WRC or WEX Robotic Competition. So let's get into the topic. So for this first episode will be about this phrase: just rebuild. I guess that you guys might have heard this phrase before, or some kind of phrases that give a similar meaning to this. For my experience, at the beginning of my robotic journey was around WRO 2016. Since I was in still elementary school, so I was not good enough to be able to design it out from scratch. Which, to be honest, during this time, I didn't get to hear these kind of phrases much because the one who are designing our robot or initiating ideas was mostly our coach. Then I'll be programming on the base robot and the base program that our coach has started for us, and keep editing the code to fit with our robot. And 1 year after, I got into middle school and I had enough skill to be able to design my robot by myself. And the first competition that I got to redesign by myself was WRO 2017. And this year is the year that I started to hear this kind of phrase from my coach. This is the picture of our initial design. So the plan in my mind was just only making a robot with two arms, like with two claws, to be able to pick up the trees. And that was just my plan for it. I just kept building and building whatever pop up in my mind or whatever idea that I got at that time. And then this is what it turns out. So the robot turns out to be very big and chunky because I use a lot of parts to connect each components together. And it also turns out to be not very strong, and the robot is kind of like wobbly. The robot seems to be already oversized, which it's bigger than the size that the competitions allowed. Once my coach got to see my robot, the first thing he said is, "You gotta rebuild it." At that moment, I don't know how to describe it, but I think I was sad, and I felt like I have done this thing for so long, and it's just kind of like I need to start it from scratch again. I tried to talk to him like if we could fix some part of it or adjust or rebuild only some part of it. Yeah, but my coach still said that I got to rebuild the whole thing. Then when I rebuild it, I kind of feel like I got some more plans in my mind right now. And then this is how it turns out. I started to build from the base of the robot first, and this is what it looks like. It looks smaller and more compact, which is make it stronger than the previous base of my old robot. Once the base of the robot is more well designed, when I need to connect those two arms on the base of the robot, it is much easier comparing to the previous one. And the overall of the robot looks more slimmer, and it is not oversized anymore, and also stronger. And it is how it turns out at the end. And as I said, this robot got smaller and more compact, so it's not really wobbly anymore, and when making it to be able to drive smoothly and it is able to grip to those three much stronger than the previous one. If the coach didn't tell me to rebuild the whole thing, I think the robot won't be able to complete its mission this well. So, the main point of this clip is that in the process of building or designing your own robot, if you feel that you are stuck, can't think really of a way to build other parts on your robot, don't be afraid to rebuild the whole thing. Looking at the robot in the industry, it takes a very long time to be able to develop the robot to its final design, and there are several times that the engineers need to rebuild the whole thing of the robot. And as you can see from the video, at each different period of times, the appearance of the robot just looked like completely different. From like the starting one to the final one, just looks completely different. So the last thing that I would like to mention in this video clip is that when we rebuild a robot, it doesn't mean that we're starting it from zero, but we already got the sense of our previous design or what kind of design that doesn't work for our robot. This opens us to even more new ideas or even more creative ideas, which we might not be able to think of it if we had still stick with the old idea. So don't be afraid to rebuild. And this is all for today. Thank you for watching.